Hello, my name is Wardle. You might know me better as Ty Borden from CBC's Heartland. Well, I'm thrilled to be here today reading the winning short story in the middle school category for the Wild Beauty Foundation's second annual creative writing contest. With this year's theme of connection and wild horses, this story is called Building Trusts, and it was written by 12-year-old Gretchen from Littleton, Colorado. The Mustangs flee, heads stretching forward and manes flying in the wind. Dust billows behind them and envelops our helicopter in a haze. The band bolts, closely packed with the foals struggling next to their mothers and desperate to keep up, but losing ground. A bay stallion, leading the panicked race with his head straining forward, his tail streaming like a banner of freedom behind him, his unshod hooves beating the ground, propelling him forward with every step, and his muscles straining for every leap over the rough, rocky ground of Colorado. We dart back and forth to keep the band together. I have one hand on my mouth and the other gripping the worn leather seat. I feel nauseous watching the fear-driven horses, their eyes wide with terror as they race away from us. The Mustangs rearing and screaming in fear bolt into the pens as families are torn apart, and their freedom is gone with a quick clang of metal gates. The bay stallion is separated from the others. As the horses settle in, a streak of lightning lights up the sky. Then a crash of thunder rumbles as a shrieking neigh fills the air. I hurry toward the pens as the storm comes. My shirt sticks to my body, and a cascade of water pours over the brim of my hat. I push through the rain to reach the pens, and there, rearing at its highest, is the stallion. A silhouette against the stormy black sky and more majestic than I remember. His hooves strike the ground as the sweat and rain glistens on his neck. His eyes are wide and frenzied, and his nostrils flare. But for a moment, his eyes show a softness, a gentleness. As a roll of thunder comes, the stallion thrashes and bucks, his wet mane spraying me with water in his small enclosed pen. His body thuds against the steel rails while he thrashes to get free, his hooves striking out. Thunder. I'm gonna name you Thunder, I murmur, as a bolt of lightning splits the sky. I knew I had to try and make him trust humans before it was too late. I reach out a hand to him. He quivers under my touch, but I gently speak to him until he stands trembling under my hand, as if he, through calming down, ordered the storm to stop. The storm breaks, and rays of gold splash down on his neck. The next day, I sit inside the pen with Thunder. With his dark brown eyes wide and staring, he turns his head to me. I study his face. A single star could be seen through his thick forelock. He paces the pen warily, keeping as much distance from me as he could, and always keeping a single soft brown eye on me. A gust of wind jingles the chains on the gate, and he shies nervously to the far corner. I sit motionless on the rough dirt of the pen, with my eyes to the ground to show no harm. My patience pays off, and he slowly walks up to me out of curiosity and nuzzles my hand. In this moment, when I feel his velvety nose and his warm, wet breath on my hand, I know that I will do whatever I can to save him. I slowly get to my feet and stroke his neck. He shifts his weight and carefully leans into me as I rub his neck. That evening, the sky becomes dull as if it is tired. I walk to the pens, and there, dressed in his red flannel shirt and leather belt with a quick-draw pistol attached, my father holds the handle of a lunge whip in his hand. He was using it against a screaming Thunder to try and get him into the chute so the vet can check him out for diseases and check his age. I ball my fists as I watch, too stunned to do anything. How can anyone treat these kind and loyal horses so cruelly? At last, I cannot stand it anymore, and I run out into the open and yell, "Dad, stop! That's not the way you treat such a gentle, kind creature." With my confidence growing, I continue in a calmer voice and say, "All he wants is a partnership and a companion. Thunder has learned to trust me, and he can learn to trust you too. My father said harshly, "I told you not to go near this beast." I walk up to the stallion and I say softly to him, "It's fine now. No one is going to hurt you anymore." Sadness comes over me as Thunder stands there, shaking, his eyes wide with fear. "How do we know this stallion is truly trusting?" yells a worker from the crowd. I answer, "A true Mustang can never be tamed or broken. You cannot break a Mustang's spirit, but you can earn its trust, and he will always be trusting to you as long as you treat him with respect. With a horse, you can build a connection that bonds you together, but you cannot build a bond by treating a horse with cruelty, or they will never trust you and will only follow you out of fear." With that, I rub his neck, and we stand there as one. Thunder's trembling melted away, and although his eyes are wide with fright, I stand there in the setting sun with his head in my arms. I feel strong, like I can do anything. When I look at my father, I see tears in his eyes. And when we make eye contact, I sense that something changed. I believe I saved this horse, and I am more determined to make a difference by saving one horse at a time. It is even better knowing I have my dad by my side. Thank you for using your creativity to protect wild horses, Gretchen. My name is Graham Wardle, and I stand with wild horses.